What a time to be a Boilermaker, coming away with the Big Ten Tournament Championship, going home with the trophy 2 times for Fletcher and Braden. What an accomplishment. They counted us off. We had been not filling up to expectations throughout the regular season, and we finally did it. We shut them up. 4 wins in 4 days. These boys played out of their minds, taking down the number 1 Michigan Wolverines. What a game. What a game, right? We led by 14 at one point, final score being 80-72 against a very good Michigan team, a team that beat us by 11 in the regular season. We knew it was going to be a tough matchup. It was going to be a matchup that from everybody had to perform, and really, looking at the stat sheet, our starting 5 performed, and that was enough to get the job done. At least scoring wise, I'll go down everybody and say how I think they played and all that, but what an overall game for the Boilers. If they continue to play like this, they completely flipped the switch. It was a completely different team out there. The intensity was there the whole game. Defense was solid, but pretty much the whole game. Offensive firepower, being in the right spots. Intensity won this game. We never quit. We full head of steam right at their chest every single play. And that's what's going to win us games, especially here in March. So very exciting. So glad that they were able to pull this off, as this was one of their wants that they set at the beginning of the season, an accomplishment that they set for themselves, and just so happy that they were able to get this done. Also, on top of it, Braden with 11 assists, 1 away from tying the record with Bobby Hurley with 1,075, I believe it is, and 2 away from breaking that record, which, if he doesn't get that against Queens in the first round, that'd be crazy. But nonetheless, very likely that he does. So that's so exciting for an all-time record to be held by a Boilermaker. Let's get right into this. Let's break down individual performances. Trey Kaufman-Renn, 20 minutes, 10 for 15, only 3 rebounds with an assist and a steal. Okay, this rebounding numbers, if you look at it statistically, that doesn't jump off the stat sheet. It's not like, holy crap, we out-rebounded them, because we actually lost the rebounding battle by 4. But, we got rebounds when we needed them the most. Every time I feel like there's a body on somebody. So when they got a rebound, it wasn't because they, was fighting harder. There was a few that, they just crashed and got between us and, came down with the rebound. But Trey Kaufman-Renn with a stellar performance. Multiple times down the stretch where I think it was at least 3 possessions in a row, Trey Kaufman-Renn scores. And they were far push shots. He was determined. He did a great job staying on his feet, using scoring moves, shot fake, step under on Merez and Mara. I thought he did a great job. Merez, Mara, Lendenborg, 3 of the best bigs in college basketball right now. This front court for them is crazy. One of the best front courts in college basketball, if not the best. And Oscar and Trey just had their way with them. They got whatever they wanted in this whole game. And if they continue to take it at teams like that, we're a scary team. Because if you look at this, we didn't even shoot the ball well. Right, 4 for 14, 29%. We didn't even shoot the ball well. But let's take this and go. Trey, stellar performance, A+. You have to give that an A+. Rebounding, you would like to see that higher, but it doesn't even matter. He showed up when it counted. He did only play 28 minutes, which is down from his normal. But 28 huge minutes, effort the whole time. Overall, I'm going to give this whole team an A-plus effort. There was never a time where I thought they quit or gave up, which is something that, at times during the season we have preached on. And so awesome to see this team compete the way they did. Going into Clough, 25 minutes, 21 points, 7 for 11. Also going 7 for 11 from the free throw line. Wow, I thought I was tripping there for a second. Clough did such a good job in this game. 5 rebounds as well, with an assist and a clutch block. What a game. What a game from our bigs. What a game from Clough. Sealed this game. Last game, he kept us in it against UCLA, was in the right spots. This game against Michigan did not shy away from this front court. I thought Trey and Clough both, against one of the biggest matchups they take on in the season, full head on, straight to them, right to Mara's chest, right to Merez's chest. Clough had his way with Merez, and I just thought they did such a great job of not being, timid or frail with the ball. Every time they caught it, boom, they were patient, got their shot. And Clough was in the right spots, got sent to the line multiple times. Like I said, 11 free throw attempts. And I thought they were earned. And, I know some Michigan fans are going to disagree with me. I thought this game was called the way it should be called. I know our free throw count is different. We get 22 to their 6. I truly believe, and this is outside of just being a Purdue fan, I thought Purdue deserved the foul calls that they got. There might have been a questionable one or two. But I thought the way that they were playing and the way that Michigan was guarding, that, we got into spots to deserve the call. They made the play and ultimately getting that call. But Oscar just doing a great job. Has 3 fouls in the first half, right? That's big. When I seen that happen, I thought, oh crap, right? We can't lose him. We can't have Daniel in this situation. And he just did a great job of not fouling, being in the right spot. I thought him and Trey both, and I've said this before on both of them, they can be foul machines at times. And I thought both of them did such a great job of bodying up into them, hands up, and staying, and just not swatting down, whatever. But I thought they both did just a great job of walling up and being in the way. We get 22 free throws, but this foul count is 13 to 18. It's a 5 differential. That's not a crazy differential, so I don't even think that they can take and try to run with that. But yeah, overall, A+ from Trey, A+ from Oscar. On to CJ, 2 for 4, 0 for 2 from 3, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 turnovers, 0 steals, 2 blocks though. I thought CJ defensively was doing exactly what we asked him to do. Him and Jakari both, I thought both were being, doing their jobs defensively. Obviously, offensively, we'd like to get some more production for him. He does only get 4 shots up. Overall, I know at least one of them was his dribble pull-up, and that thing's a thing of beauty, and I love that shot. Overall, probably a B+ from CJ offensively. Could have used some more help, but defensively did his job. Braden Smith, 14 points. He goes 6 for 12 from the field. 0 for 3 behind the arc, though. 2 for 2 on free throws. 5 rebounds to 11 assists, 0 turnovers with 3 steals. A+ game from Braden. I thought our big 3 add Clough to that, so 4 A+s all around. Braden, what a crazy game. Rips jersey, puts 41 on, and is 1 away from tying the record in the Big Ten championship. That is crazy. Sets the Big Ten tournament. Big Ten tournament record for assist in a tournament. with, let me get this pulled up, 16, 46, I believe it is, with 46 assists on the tournament to 10 turnovers, and 5 of them coming in one game. So you divvy that up. What a run it was for Braden. He wins Most Outstanding Player. What a game from Braden. He did exactly what he needed to do. He was aggressive. Shots weren't necessarily falling early. He continued to stay aggressive, attack Amara not Amara. He attacks Mara at the top of the key, gets him downhill, makes that crazy and one play. But just did exactly what I've preached that I want him to do. I need him to distribute the ball, but I need him to be aggressive scoring, and he did exactly that. He joked about keeping 41 for the next game because that's where all his scoring came from. He was 0 for 3 in number 3. But I don't care. This is exactly the form of Braden that we need day in, day out. Just an overall great performance. Defensively, 3 steals. He had that one where he picked it off. We don't end up scoring on that possession, but I just thought he was reading passing lanes very well. Overall, just a great game from Braden. If you watch this game, obviously if you're watching this, you probably did. Just a tremendous game. Great passes. A lot of them coming off that short roll with Trey, and then obviously, makes have to happen to get those assists. Trey just went crazy on his push shots. Then we'll get the Lawyer. 14 points, 4 for 7. He's 3 for 4 behind the arc. My biggest complaint is that he went 3 for 5 from the free throw line and not 5 for 5. But let's tack this on. 4 rebounds, 5 assists to 1 turnover. I thought Fletch did exactly what we asked him to do. Set the tone early with that step to the side 3 in the left corner. What a game from our big 3 plus Clough to make it 4. What a game it was from them. I love this for them. I love this group. I'm going to be so sad when Braden, Trey, and TKR, and if Clough doesn't get a 5th year. I'm going to be so sad when these guys are gone. I've loved this team. But what a game from them. Fletch I thought he did a great job. Didn't force too many. The shot attempts that he did miss were all long, I felt. I know this 1-3 was a long. Obviously, it'd be awesome to see him go 4 for 4, but overall, another A-plus game from Lawyer. Does exactly what we ask him to do. Tacks on 5 assists. I thought he's done a great job, especially in this tournament, of distributing the ball when he needs to, even though that's not one of the asks we have for him. Daniel only plays 3 minutes. Does get a rebound, gets an assist. So, an okay 3 minutes. We'll give Daniel an A for this one. We'll give him an A. He doesn't play much, especially against this front court. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more of him in our first game against Queens, just to preserve him, preserve Clough and maybe Trey. Omer Meyer, 11 minutes, 0 points, 0 for 3, 1 rebound, no turnovers, so that's good to see. Total as a team, 2 turnovers, and that was one of the keys that I said going into this game. This is a team that loves to play hard-nosed defense. We got to take care of the ball. We have to force turnovers. We forced them to make 7 turnovers to our 2 turnovers. We had 4 steals. They came all in the right times. And, we took care of the ball. Even though we didn't win the rebounding battle, we were in there fighting for every single rebound. Omer, not a great game. He doesn't score. Actually, our whole bench doesn't score besides Jack. But, Omer did a solid job of, just coming in and not forcing anything. He didn't get any turnovers. Sometimes he comes in and forces a little too much, causes havoc and gets some turnovers. I did think that one of his possessions that he shot the ball, got it down to a low shot clock and then takes a questionable shot. Got to get better at attacking early and not having for him to be the one to take the shot every single time. I do like when he, goes and gets one, but would like to see some more distribution sometimes from Omer. Jack, overall a solid game, 7 points. He's 1 for 3, 1 for 2 from the 3-point line, 4 for 4 on the free throws, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Jack, I thought, did a great job of defensively just being in the right spot. He had to come in for Trey for a while. He does play 24 minutes, which is a lot. I would not be surprised that in this tournament if we see more Jack. Maybe a little less Jakari. It might be a little game-to-game, see how that goes. I know part of it had to do with Trey. I think he might have hurt his shoulder. I haven't heard anything about it, but I know he kind of favored it for a little bit in the game. But anyways, Jack, just a great game for him overall. An A. I'm going to give him an A for this game. Did a great job of just being in the right spots, making the right plays, hitting his free throws. He stepped up. All 4 of his attempts were down the stretch when we definitely needed them to go in. Did a great job of sinking them. Also, let's take account that Trey had 20 points on 0 free throw attempts. So I didn't even think about that, but I'm going to point that out now. Obviously, Clough leads us with 11, but Trey having a great game and not even getting to the line. Jakari, again, we did not shoot the ball well, 4 for 14. We need those open shots to go down because against a team like this, those open shots can be, limited. So when we get great looks like that, we got to knock them down. But defensively, I thought Jakari did what he's asked to do while he's in that game. Cadeau ends with 10 points, 4 for 12. I thought both CJ and Jakari both did a great job of making Cadeau a shooter. He does have 10 assists in this game, but to 10 points. So he does have a double-double, but 4 for 12. I thought we did a good job of forcing him to really do one, right? There's some times where he can go off a little bit, be a passer, and kind of score. We forced him to take some bad shots, which overall helped us in the end, as they end with 15 assists, 10 of them coming from Cadeau himself. Great win for the Boilers. I was so stoked watching this game. I was actually in Indy, in Cabela's watching the game, and I had a few workers there ask me how it was going, what was going on, and I got to share the good news of the Boilers bringing home the Big Ten championship for the tournament. So that was awesome to see. But yeah, overall, we won this game off of intensity, and once we played harder than them. They shot 7 for 24 behind the arc, which is 29%. So we actually shot the same percentage behind the arc, but they attempted more. 53% from the field, 30 for 57. They are 30 for 64 for 47%. This game was won by energy. It's similar to the Nebraska game earlier in the season. This game was won because we wanted it more, and it was shown from the get-go. We went out, punched them in the mouth, and never stopped, never gave up. Just the entire game was at their throats, and as a team, collectively, intensity-wise, diving on the floor, all of it. This team was connected the entire game. There was no bad body language, which has been a complaint of mine at times during the season. And collectively as a team, every single person wanted this just as bad as what they needed to and played that much harder. And that's what we have to have going into this tournament. I know first round we have Queens. Likely second round, probably Miami. After that, our draw doesn't get much easier. So this team has to have this intensity the whole tournament, this drive, to, we finished one accomplishment or one goal that we set for ourselves so far this season by winning the Big Ten championship. We didn't win the regular season, but we did win the tournament. Let's go 2 for 3, and let's go out and win a national championship. So, love this game for the Boilers. I loved watching it. I love supporting this group. Also, peep the hat. I got this for Christmas. So, just wanted to shout that out. But, love this group. Love watching this team. Can't wait to cheer them on during the tournament where they continue this fight and this drive. So, all I got to say is we won the tournament and go Boilers!